So what's going on the farm today? So we are harvesting our breadseed poppy heads today. These are ones that have bloomed and have shelled off their beautiful petals and left us with these beautiful heads with crowns on them. As you can see over here, these ones have actually dried out a little bit more, and on the edge of the crown you can see that the cells have opened up, and that's where seeds will eventually shake out from, you know, turn them upside down and all the poppy seeds fall out. Here is a breadseed poppy in flower. We actually don't take the breadseed head flowers for use because they just get a little fickle in terms of keeping the petals hydrated. If you want to use them, you'd have to flame the ends with a little lighter, or you can try using some quick dip. We found them to be a little bit more fussy and that you have to really harvest them at the perfect time to use them in floral work. So we prefer to grow them to use for their heads, right there. So here's an example of a breadseed poppy right here. All you're gonna do is come to the very bottom, give it a clean cut, then strip the leaves back. I like to strip the leaves back now because as they dry, they do get a little sharper. We also have our friends, the aphids, that tend to like to cling on to the leaves this time of year. So by stripping them all off now and getting them into the buckets, you're saving your hands for getting poked later, and also just having an easier time if you decide to not use them fresh like this. And if you want to turn them over and get them super dry like this, you could spray paint them and do all sorts of creative things with them later in fall. Now, what do you do when you've got breadseed poppies that are already dry like this? Well, it's quite simple. You just simply we put them over a jar, and as you can see, all these seeds are falling out. You can use a plastic container and just empty them out, and then you have plenty of breadseed poppies for an entire city.
It's now time to dry our breadseed poppy heads. What supplies will you need? You'll need a little piece of wire. We've taken a 16 gauge piece of wire and bent it into an S shape. You'll need some rubber bands. You'll need your snips, and you'll need something like a chopstick or a dowel and a tall bucket. How we process is we first get our poppy seed heads out of the bucket, and we check for any of the poppy seed heads to see if any of the chambers have opened. And if they have, we just simply turn them over into the bucket like so and tap out as many seeds as we can because we don't really want the seeds scattering everywhere. Once we've done that and we've made sure all the leaves are removed, we then gather them into kind of stacks of 10 to 15, 20, depending how much you want to hang at one time, and gather all the stems in your hand and make sure they're all even at the bottom. Like so. Now we're going to turn this upside down eventually and hang it in our bucket. So you might want to give them a little quick even snip, just like so. Now I'm going to take our rubber band, I'm going to loop it onto a couple stems and wrap so that it's tightly bound like so. I'm then going to take our S-shaped wire and simply hook it on like so. Turn it over. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little dowel and hang the poppy seed heads like so inside the bucket. This keeps all the seeds inside the bucket. If you don't mind the mess, an easy way is to dry them upside down on a rod such as so. And there you have it. Drying breadseed poppy heads. Thanks for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed this segment. I'm Charmaine Turbow from Turbow Farms here in Los Altos, California, Zone 9B. Subscribe to us and like our channel.